just the wildest story, but it actually happened.
On BBC iPlayer,
Believing Magic was like no other charity.
the sweeter the story,
They would just appear and sprinkle their magic.
the darker the truth.
It was all based on a lie.
It was unbelievable.
A mother and daughter running this charity. Was Meghan really sick?
The story doesn't add up.
The mother of all cons.
I had no idea where it would all lead.
Starts on Sunday on BBC iPlayer.
After the news, call you and yours, Nas. Are you working at home or back in the office? That's coming up in a couple of minutes.
BBC News at midday. The sentences of 3 teenage boys who were spared jail in relation to the rape of 2 girls in Hampshire will go to the Court of Appeal after being reviewed by the Attorney General. There was widespread criticism after a judge handed the boys youth rehabilitation orders in line with sentencing guidelines for England and Wales. He added that he would avoid criminalising very young boys. Sir Keir Starmer announced the referral, saying there were questions about whether the sentences were too lenient.
The courage, frankly, of the girls to come forward is humbling, but it is distressing. I find it distressing as a politician. I find it distressing as a father. The Attorney General has power to refer a case to the Court of Appeal if the Attorney General thinks that the sentence is too lenient. The Attorney General has now exercised that power, and that is clearly the right outcome.
4 people have been killed in a collision between a train and school minibus in Belgium. 7 secondary school children, a chaperone and the driver, were on a level crossing when the accident happened in Buchenhout. The children attended a special needs school. Our correspondent Haruna Ayenga says there's confusion over how the crash happened.
The barriers apparently were down and the traffic lights were on red, and CCTV footage shows that the level crossing was closed at the time of the accident. A spokesperson for the Belgian Railways said that the collision took place at 8 o'clock. They've said that they do not know how the accident could have happened.
The US Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, has said reaching a peace deal with Iran will take a few days, despite renewed US strikes on the country overnight. Washington said it had attacked missile sites and boats trying to lay mines. Talks are continuing between Iranian officials and mediators in Qatar. As our international editor Jeremy Bowen explains, the discussions are focused on a memorandum on a limited number of issues.
What is positive, if they can get this MOU, as it's called, negotiated, is reopening the Strait of Hormuz and ending the war, which is a massive improvement, not just regionally, but of course globally, because of the economic consequences. But it would mean that the fundamental issues are still there. So at the moment, this is pointing towards some kind of an attritional conflict, perhaps going on for a while.
The Israeli military has told people to evacuate the southern Lebanese city of Nabatea ahead of expected attacks against Hezbollah. Israel has intensified airstrikes across the country despite a ceasefire. Hezbollah has continued to launch rockets into northern Israel and attack Israeli soldiers occupying southern Lebanon with drones. The health effects of social media use by under-16s have been likened to smoking by some of the most senior doctors in the UK. The Academy of Medical Royal Colleges has made the warning as part of the government's consultation on whether to restrict children's access to online platforms, advising that doctors should routinely ask about screen time and social media when seeing younger patients. The UK record overnight temperature for May was broken last night for the second consecutive day. It didn't fall below 21.3 Celsius overnight at Kenley Airfield in South London. Forecasters say the record May temperature could be broken again today, with temperatures in London this morning 2 degrees higher than at the same point yesterday. William Spencer from the British Red Cross says the heatwave is posing health risks.
Summer has come early this year, and so it's catching people out in that it's suddenly much hotter than people have been used to over the last few months. So absolutely a variety of conditions, from pre-existing conditions that are exacerbated by the heat, or just indeed enjoying the sun and drinking too much.
That's William Spencer from the British Red Cross. BBC News.
You're listening to BBC Radio 4, where now it's time for Winifred Robinson with Call You and Yours.
Hi, welcome to our phone-in. Today we'd like to hear from you about working from home. Is it a good thing in your experience? Give us a call, 03700 100 444. 03700 100 444. Not everyone can work from home, of course. Some jobs can't be done remotely. But roughly 40% of people in the UK were working from home last year. That figure comes from a report for the House of Commons. So it's been a lasting legacy of the pandemic. Is it a good thing in your experience? Call us, 03700 100 444. Now, Sam called, he's on the line, and he has recently